Sometimes you have to perform when you don't want to. And with a winter weather advisory and ugly conditions on the field and an ugly record off the field, the Washington Redskins still have 4 games left to play, including this one against the Kansas City Chiefs here at FedExField. Welcome into Verizon Gametime Live, presented by Verizon. I'm Lou Holder. We are coming to you from the Loge area of FedExField. We are inside, at least under covering, but the Washington Redskins are out there and going to play a game in this weather against the Kansas City Chiefs. And joining me right off the bat, and for the majority of the show, is Brian Tinsman from Redskins.com. And Brian, here are the facts. The Kansas City Chiefs have lost 3 straight. The Washington Redskins have only won 3 games. The Kansas City Chiefs have 9 wins. The Washington Redskins have 9 losses. One team has a lot to play for as Kansas City. They probably can't win the division because they're in the same division as Denver. And the Washington Redskins have a lot to play for as far as pride, as far as coaches, as far as a lot. So with that, we start with you and your assessment on, first, the weather. I mean, this is going to be something we haven't experienced. Last year, the Washington Redskins in December games, we were very, very lucky as far as the weather. It's snowing out there, and it's ugly, and if I'm a player, I'm a little, how should I say, apprehensive.
You're gonna hold back on a day like this, Lou? No, we're starting to slowly see guys trickle out onto the field. Alfred Morris was the man out there, first. He was, kind of leading the charge out there as they're taking the tarp off the field. But, he's a guy that, he's going to bring it every week anyway. And I really think that the rest of these guys are as well. There's been a lot of mishaps this year. There's been a little bit of just that much off. And I really think that going into next year, they want to establish that timing, that synchronize that they had last year. And I think that you're looking for all these guys to kind of, bring it, to show it, to put it on tape. You got a lot of guys, especially on defense, that are going to be free agents, and the defense certainly hasn't shown this year what they can do. I think that across the board, you're going to continue to see effort. Even if the team isn't playing for something, you're going to see greater individual effort in these last 4 games, I believe, than you've seen all season long.
We're going to get some player actives and inactives from Chris Russell hopefully later on in the show. But we do know that London Fletcher is probably probable for today's game. Last Sunday against the Giants, he had that ankle injury. It's now becoming apparent that London Fletcher is he's on the back 9 of his career. These might be the last 4 games of his NFL career, probably in a Redskin uniform. So this game and the game against the Dallas Cowboys are probably the last time you're going to see London Fletcher in a Redskins uniform. So I think it's going to be kind of cool to see, he's going to bring it.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a guy who actually said that, despite being injured at this point in the season, he said it's nothing compared to last year. Talked to him earlier this week, and he said that, he's a little bit banged up. It is that ankle, again, that is starting to bother him. But when you play 16 seasons on that ankle, I mean, it's going to hurt after a while. And he's at that point this year. He said that he's actually feeling pretty good. Definitely going to play today. There's nothing that's going to keep him off the field for these last 4 games. If these are the last 4 games of his career, then it's been a heck of a run for him. And I think that we're going to see him continue to set the tone on this defense. If he only has 4 games left, and that's only 4 games that he has to prepare his body for, you're going to see a man on fire out there.
If we're talking about defense with London Fletcher, we have to go to the offense and talk about the story of the whole season, and that's this offensive line and Robert Griffin III and the lack of carries for Alfred Morris. I mean, in the media all week it was talking about why isn't Alfred getting the ball, and Kyle Shanahan explaining that it's system-based and whatnot. But these fans want to see a 6th-round pick who took this league by storm last year, and there's no sophomore slump with him. When he gets the ball, he can run, and why isn't he running more on a day like today when the elements are bad? This is NFC East type football. Andy Reid, the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, is from that NFC East. If Alfred Morris doesn't get the ball plenty today, there's something wrong.
Well, here's my prediction. First play of the game for the Redskins offense, you're going to see a carry for Alfred Morris. He's going to get those 4 yards, and he's going to crack 1,000. That's going to be something worth watching today. This is a big game for him in terms of him hitting that plateau for, the 2nd year in a row, that 1,000-yard plateau, which is kind of unusual in today's NFL to hit one, but especially to hit back-to-back. He's a guy that has carried this team throughout his career here. He's only had 25 carries in the last 2 weeks, so he's definitely well rested. You mentioned it, this is the type of day for a physical type of football. And if the Redskins can't run the ball today, then they have major, major problems. I mean, we already know that they've had issues in opening up holes for him. Certainly the loss of Darrell Young over the last 2 weeks has contributed to that limited amount of workload for him. But this is his day. You know, this is not a day when you're going to put Roy Halou out there to split carries with him. This is a day when you need to give Alfred the football. If he went off today for 200 yards, wouldn't be shocked. The footing is going to be a concern today. The last 2 games, we've seen him slip a couple times. Both of those games have been at home. You know that the field conditions aren't going to be any better than they were for those 2 games, not only with the ice and snow, but also with the wear and tear. Not many teams in the northern climates get 3 games in a row at the end of the season. It's going to take a toll on that turf out there, and we'll see how he does. I really think that he's going to be gritty today, though. I think that he is very important if the Redskins have any chance of winning this game.
All right, this whole show is going to be called Man Up. Man up for the players, man up for the broadcasters, and man up for a lot of the fans who have braved the elements to come out here to cheer on the Washington Redskins. We're going to have plenty of them coming through on the show. We got a couple coming through right now. Just stand up here and give me your name and where you're from.
Fred Retberg, and we're from about 60 miles west of Washington, D.C., Front Royal, Virginia.
Okay, and your name is?
My name's Chris Hendricks. I'm from Front Royal, too.
Okay, and?
Dwight Gilbert, also from Front Royal.
Okay, gentlemen, I see you still wearing your jerseys. You're still rocking the Washington Redskins pride. But as a fan, how disappointed are you coming last year and winning the NFC East and going to the playoffs to see a team now that is now 3-9 and all the turmoil that's going on the field and off the field? As fans, I see you wearing your NFC East championship hat from last year, but inside your head must be steaming.
We got that hat last year off of we went into the bye week, not looking too good last year. We won out to get to where we needed to be. We did what we had to do. RG3 was running good. Unfortunately, he did get hurt. We went through the whole off season, and we went into spring training camp and everything. Went down to Richmond, visited everything down there, had everything going. RG's not in the lineup yet. Getting healthy. Kirk Cousins did a wonderful job, masterminded some things. Maybe the play calling was a little different. The guys had a good euphoria about him, but we remember the last time we were 4-0 in the preseason too. Things just couldn't quite turn out that way. But this year, a little bit disappointed in the play calling, a little bit disappointed in like you all touched on before. We've got one of the best running backs in the National Football League. We have not utilized him this year at all.
Right. Play calling and Alfred Morris is your concern. How about you, sir?
Well, I mean, I just wanted to have a confident quarterback. When we have a quarterback who drops back and only checks one receiver and only looks at the one guy, I mean, that's who you're going to go for. We need to start checking down receivers and maybe start handing the ball off a little more. Maybe just let RG3 run it maybe if he's going to. The knee problem needs to go ahead and get going. The RG knee thing needs to go. So I mean, just have a little confidence in our quarterback. If not, go ahead and put Cousins in. I mean, we did go 4-0 in the preseason with him. We hadn't used him all year. I mean, there's been times we maybe should have taken RG3 out. That's what I think.
And Kirk Cousins has to be a very happy man. His Michigan State team beat Ohio State, so he must be pretty happy right now. Slide in. There's plenty of room for everybody. Your biggest concerns or what has disappointed you the most for this Washington Redskins season?
I'm going to have to stick with Kyle Shanahan and the play calling. A little bit disappointed with that. I've not been impressed with the offensive coordinator this year. I think we need to stick with the run a little bit more, and the read option just hasn't been as effective. Disappointing.
Okay, thank you so much. You guys slide out. Get this. Slide out. Get this guy with this Chris Cooley jersey. Chris Cooley, I'm sure the Washington Redskins fans would love to see Chris Cooley out there. They're tight ends with Fred Davis and Jordan Reed. We don't know if Jordan Reed's going to be playing today. That tight end position, little dicey. We probably could use Chris Cooley. But as I asked the other fans that came in first, give me your name and where you're from, and what's been the biggest disappointment for you this season?
Yeah, Don Ford from Hershey, Pennsylvania. I'm really disappointed in the defense this year. I feel like nobody has stepped up and has become a playmaker. And I'd like to see if Brian Arakpo can finish off the season and start dominating some games. I think he's ready to turn the corner. That's what I'm looking for today. Yeah. Offensively, play calling. I don't know why we haven't been running Alfred Morris more. But RG3's coming off a serious knee injury. We knew there'd be some growing pains coming back. Really can't knock his progress this year. I think he's looked a little bit better. throughout the season.
Hershey, Pennsylvania, you came all the way down just for the game today?
That's right. I've been down all weekend hitting all the games. Capitals, got the Wizards Friday night. A little late getting there, but yeah, we hit it all. So.
Thanks so much. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the game. All right. So the fans have spoken. I see 3 or 4 people that came through here said that the play calling and Kyle Shanahan has been their biggest disappointment.
I mean, I think those are pretty common themes so far this year. We've seen 12 drives so far this year go 50 yards and yield no points. That leads the NFL. You know, I think it's really there's been no lack of yardage this year. This is the 7th ranked offense in terms of yards. But it's really 19th in terms of scoring. It's that red zone offense that we've seen. And even really not just inside the 20, but inside the 30, inside the 35 and 40. We've seen so many stalled drives this year. It's perfectly understandable that these fans are frustrated. And, you know, I was getting the play call from Chris Russell off screen. Looks like we're going to have some issues.
Don't steal his thunder.
Right. Looks like we're going to have some issues at tight end this year, though, or this week. So we'll see. We got some injuries coming up. I think that the field out there is probably going to, anybody with lower leg limitations or extremity issues is probably going to have a hard time going today.
All right, this is Game Time Live presented by Verizon. It's live because anything can happen, and Chris Russell just rolls up in here. He knows he's supposed to come around the other side, but he just, go ahead. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. Here we go. Chris Russell from ESPN 980. Let me do this read first because the read has to do with him. Monday morning Redskins Roundup, people. Be sure to catch the Monday morning Redskins Roundup presented by Verizon every Monday at 9 a.m. on Redskins.com. The live web show will feature highlights. It will feature interviews and analysis. Ask the host, this guy, Chris Russell, a question using hashtag Redskins Talk on Twitter. He's big, he's sexy, and he's right here blocking all the elements for us is Chris Russell. Look at that. Can you zoom in on that? Can we zoom in on that at all to see? It is a winter wonderland. No, well, actually, you know what? It's winter. This hasn't really been a wonderland. This team is 3-9, but you get my point. So, Chris, come on in here and first tell us who's up and who's down.
I could think of another W word that would go with the land. But
it's a family show.
Exactly. It's not good news. Jordan Reed once again is inactive. Once again, so is Darrell Young. Also Brandon Merriweather, and then your usual suspects, Rex Grossman, Chase Minifield, Brandon Jenkins, Josh Laribas. But the big 3 are Brandon Merriweather, starting safety. Bakari Rambo will draw the start for him. Darrell Young, starting fullback for a 3rd consecutive game. So Niles Paul will start for him. He is active after missing last week because of the virus that he had. And then again, Jordan Reed. So again, Fred Davis will be active. And 3 key pieces once again missing.
Right. Well, let's be totally honest. If the weather wasn't like that and the Washington Redskins were 9-3 instead of 3-9, I'm assuming that those 3 players would probably either suck it up or what have you. I mean, you really got to be careful about your careers and things like that when you have weather conditions like this. Am I off base with that?
No, I think certainly that plays a part in it, I would think.
Let's be real. I mean, it is your life.
And here's the thing, and I just want to make this clear. This field, what you're going to hear on television and what you might hear in other media circles and on Twitter today, this field is going to take a lot of abuse, and a lot of it, I'm just going to say this, is unwarranted because I know the people that have worked on this field tirelessly, hour after hour, week after week, day after day, all year round. And they did a lot to this field to get it ready just in the offseason, the parts that nobody saw. And yes, guys are going to slip. And yes, the middle is chewed up. Guess what? We're in Washington, D.C. We're not in Phoenix, Arizona. We're not in Los Angeles, California. And we don't have field turf. Now, you can question that part of it all you want, but don't dismiss what they have tried to do to get this field in as good a possible shape as they possibly can, because anything that you read, anything that you see, anything that you hear is simply untrue.
All right, Chris Russell, breaking it down as only he can. Not only does he talk about the players, he can actually address field conditions too. Chris Russell is all-purpose, and we thank him for that field report. coming here from FedExField. We're from the Lowe's section here at FedExField, but Chris Russell is telling you that field is as good as it's going to get. Players are going to slip. But this is a man-up type of game. Not only, like I said, for the players, for the broadcasters as well. We have 4 more games, guys, 2 of them at home. This Kansas City Chiefs team, they've lost to Denver twice. They've lost 3 straight games. They are mad. Andy Reid is from the NFC East. He's beaten all the other teams in the NFC East. You don't think he's going to want to beat that last team in the NFC East. So the Kansas City Chiefs are not coming in here just trying to go through the motions. They're going to try to smack the Washington Redskins around, and the Redskins got to be ready for that, even with a 3-9 record.
The Chiefs only have 2 sacks in their last 5 games. So as I wrote on one of my various forums yesterday, I can't remember.
He's got so many jobs we don't even know.
They might have 2 sacks on the first drive, which will be a bad sign. The Redskins' offensive line and offensive unit, let me point this out, not just on the offensive line. Offensive unit has surrendered 19 sacks in the last 4 games. They've now surrendered 33 sacks on the entire year. Last year, 33 sacks the entire regular season. They were well behind, or they were leading the NFL in sacks allowed 6 weeks into this season. So this has been a dramatic drop-off in that particular area, and I hope it doesn't, for Robert's sake and for the Redskins' offensive sake, doesn't become one of these 4 or 5 sack parades today because of that, because Kansas City is hungry to prove, hey, even without Justin Houston, 11-sack guy, we can get after it. Don Poe, Tamba Hali, and watch out for Eric Berry out of the secondary.
I think another concern is that you're seeing a lot of those sacks piling up in the second half, and that's the time when the Redskins have been playing from behind. Last week was especially concerning because you're seeing a team that was tied at halftime, a team that took the lead in the second half, and things unraveled very quickly. You saw veteran frustration from guys like Santana Moss, D'Angelo Hall, Pierre Garçon, who just lost focus, let the frustration of the game, of the season, build up on them and take stupid penalties. And that's when you saw the offensive line protection start to be an issue. It really hurts them to be without guys like Darrell Young, who, in addition to opening up holes for Alfred Morris, are some of your better pass protectors as well. This is a shorthanded unit, and they are starting to show the wear and tear that comes with a long season. This is not an offensive line that is built to drop back and throw every play. You've got to be able to run the football in the second half, and that's the time when you've seen these problems. They need to get on the board quickly. I know that's tough against a defense like this, but this is really a game where momentum is going to be critical for the Redskins because they haven't had any all season long. They need to build that early today.
Redskins fans, apply for your Redskins Extra Points MasterCard and start earning 2 points for every $1 spent at the RedskinsTeamStore.com this holiday season. You talked about the sacks that might be coming the way of Robert Griffin III and that offensive line. But let's talk about the defense and how they're going to handle Jamal Charles. They saw Adrian Peterson, which is the best running back in the league, but obviously the best running back in the NFC. Jamal Charles is the best running back in the AFC. They're going to have to contain him. And Alex Smith, if we thought Robert Griffin III was going through some type of turmoil here in Washington, D.C. with everything he does, Alex Smith and the decisions that Andy Reid made to pick Alex Smith in the Kansas City area, I'm sure that he is under fire as well. He's going to want to have a good effort, and Jamal Charles obviously is going to give the Washington Redskins defense fits.
Yeah. long week at Redskins Park, but it would sure be a lot better when they win a game. I think they lose a close game, 17-14 Kansas City.
It's hard to pick the Redskins in this situation. Certainly they are playing at home. I gotta believe that they rise up in this situation. I think if they do, they're going to need all 60 minutes. Might come down to a last-minute field goal. I'll stick with the Redskins. We'll see. It's going to be low-scoring if they have a chance to win this. I'll go 14-7.
I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game as well. I think the Kansas City Chiefs need this game more than Washington. It's going to be 14-minute back type of affair. The Kansas City Chiefs will be virtually coming out on top. The Washington Redskins still big sexy Christmas Giants against the Redskins not watching Gametime live. Set by Verizon. The game between the Kansas City Chiefs